Good evening, BookTube. This is Leafy Concern again. It's a beautiful evening. People are out. The weather is looking better. There is a little bit of wind today. That'll make your hands cold and maybe dry the backs of them a bit if you're going on a bike ride. So I don't want to keep you here all night, but we've got something big in store. It's my entire collection of books by Vladimir Nabokov. This is the sort of thing that I come to BookTube for. Let me just see the books. So this is going to be kind of a whirlwind video, and it's just going to be about showing you the books one by one. And I'm not going to get too detailed into any one of them. I think like if I was going to do a video just standalone about one of them, or if you'd like to see me do a video just about one of them standalone, please let me know. But otherwise, I'll just wait till I read one or the other. So we're going to go in like loose chronological order. Here we go. First up, we have Mary. It's like shorter, it's like 100 pages, and I think it's from like 1928 or something. It's like way early. Next up, we have King, Queen, Knave, another one written in Russian. This is a really nice vintage edition. I'm really excited to read this one. I think it's called, he calls it like a bright brute. This bright brute is the gayest, he says. And then we have The Defense, which is one that I think John Updike liked, and I've had friends read it and say they really liked it. This one doesn't have like the slight blue or slight green color of the other vintage international editions that look this way. It's more just a plain gray, but it's quite flexible. The glue is pretty tender on here, and it has that slight sort of bowed out look that I sort of dig in paperbacks of this kind. All the pages are rather toasty. And a representative sentence from here is, on his index finger he wore a death's head ring, and he gave one to understand that there had been duels in his life. So that's another one. I think that's like the third of those Russian books. There are some gaps here in my collection of the books originally written in Russian. But I do as good as I can. I can't have everything. So here you go. This is Despair. I actually read like the first 60 pages of this one, and I actually read them and comprehended what I was reading, but it's since slipped my mind. I liked it. It's a kind of longer one. I think it's like more on like the 300 page. No, just a 200 pager. Should definitely go back to this one. I enjoyed it and would recommend what I read. And a representative sentence is, "You are right, my intelligent reader." And then we have Invitation to a Beheading. Found this one in a St. Vinny's thrift store. Looks great. Haven't read it yet. It has like the best title. Everyone on BookTube says so. A representative sentence is, "She came in taking advantage of Rodion's morning visit, slipping both his..." Let me do that again. "She came in taking advantage of Rodion's morning visit, slipping beneath his hands, which were carrying the tray." Oh, and then he says, "Tut, tut, tut." And it's got these nice little scroll things under the chapter titles. I mean, this is that kind of paperback that you look for, fellas. I mean, and ladies. And everybody, and all people. Alright, the Real Life of Sebastian Knight. I always wanted this cover of this New Directions edition. I think it's also published by Vintage, but it's also... The cover of this is a little different in the New Directions now, but it's got these nice... This is what the chapter beginnings look like. A representative sentence is, "Sebastian Knight's college years were not particularly happy." And this one was written in English by Nabokov and is the start of the section of my collection which contains just things that he wrote in English. I'm going to not know some things. Forgive me, I'm not a Nabokov scholar. I just like the couple of books that I've read by him so much that it's one of those, I'll buy every book this author has written kind of things. And of course, many people feel this way about Nabokov. He's really something special. You don't need me to tell you that. So here we have a really lucky find. I think I found this in New York City at the Strand. I may have never mind. This is a Library of America edition of the novels and memoirs from 1941 to 1951. It doesn't have Speak Memory in here as conclusive evidence, though, I don't think. So I think it's a little bit time distort. Let's look and see what we got. We've got green end papers. We've got me holding the phone with one hand because I don't have a tripod, and we've got me turning the pages. We've got The Real Life of Sebastian Knight. which I've already got in paperback, as you see. Ben Sinister and Speak Memory, an Autobiography Revisited. And we'll see that one later on in this countdown, or this walkthrough, whatever it is, this listicle. And The Real Life of Sebastian. So Ben Sinister is the reason that this is absolutely essential in my collection, because otherwise I don't have a single copy of Ben Sinister. It looks great. A representative sentence of Ben Sinister is, "Just now, when we were talking, I had the impression you thought Gustav and I were rather absurd young people." Yeah, just really good stuff. You know, this is like, it's like Henry James or something. It's essential reading in English, you know? Oh, and there's a Eugene O'Neill book, but I'm just putting this book back in its slipcase. I'm also holding the phone, so just forgive me. I need to get like a tripod or something, don't I? Okay, so then next we have, from around that same time, around 1944, his study of Nikolai Gogol, which is Gogol, which is this New Directions paper book, I like it when they call them that. The cover is, you know, it's on its own now. The title page looks really nice and vintage. You know, it's just that sans serif, all caps. That's the spine. Can you see it? Can you see it, people? Yes, it looks great. And this is the back. Pretty toasty. This is highly recommended. I've read through, I think, just about all of this book, and it will make you want to read. Maybe it'll make you want to read Gogol. Maybe it'll make you want to read Nabokov. In any case, I have to reread it. I'm very interested in Nabokov's admiration of Joyce, and so I don't know why I said that, but this is my copy of Lolita, 1955. It's that edition that has like the lips on the cover, and you know, we those covers make us uncomfortable. So I did a modification. What we have here is a blue Sharpie crisscrossed with a pink paint pen. The idea is to just kind of make it look prettier, and I think it does. I read this edition, I'm pretty sure, and I think my little notes are in it. I don't know what I've written. Who knows? Love potion I wrote. A representative sentence from this one is, "Slowly we swam out into the shimmer of the lake." Slowly we swam out into the shimmer of the lake. You know, there might be some writing in here that's like really nice and pretty because it's imitative of Dubliners. I'm thinking now, because I think I'm reading Dubliners right now. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure I'm reading Dubliners right now, but I had a dream that I was, and so this is Panine is next from like 1957 or something. This is the edition I most often read. I have an index card in there. How on topic? We have because this is your how on theme, because this is the index card writer of index card writers. The famous Wayndell College bells were in the midst of their morning chimes. These aren't representative sentences, of course. I'm just going really fast, and I don't want to keep you here all night, so I'm just trying to go as fast as possible, but I promise more videos. So this is a really nice copy of Panine. Of course, everyone likes those editions, the Everyman's Library ones. Next we have this nice Athenaeum Press paperback. I think it's an Athenaeum. Yeah. I love this edition. It looks really good. It's also like a mass market size, but it's got the flexibility of a trade. I like the colors there in Panine. It's got your blurbs. It's got a good smell, I think, like a good faint smell. It's sturdy. This was taken by a friend of mine on a trip and came back safe and sound. So sometimes that does happen. Next, while going through these things chronologically, we've got a couple of Nabokov books that I found that are in these Avon editions. And I know some people collect these. I think Michael Chabon collects Avons, or is that just a rhyme? So we have Panine and Nabokov's Dozens. So it's my third copy of Panine, and then a short story collection that I believe was published around like 1957, around the same time. And, you know, not much to say about these other than they're both beautiful and they both contain like perfect writing, and I should read both of them ASAP. Next, we have the first Nabokov book I ever read, Pale Fire. You know, doesn't need much of an introduction. Read it, write in it, loving it, live in it, laugh in it, loving it. So we have Speak Memory, another copy of this. This is actually a copy that I acquired, and it's a rather new, but I wrote a couple things in the margins in the early pages. I'm intimidated by how good it's going to be or something. And then this is another copy that was just in the house. This one's slightly older, and it seems to be a little more marked up in the early pages. Somebody really circled the shit out of pages like 2 and 3. Yeah, so I don't know what was going on there. Somebody just got really high. But you know, you have copies of books. You know, don't make fun of me too hard. No, go ahead and make fun of me. And then the next one that I have in here is so the Speak Memory, which is the revision of Conclusive Evidence, came out in 1967. Conclusive Evidence was first published in 1951, but it underwent very substantial reworkings and stuff, and then came out after Nabokov's moon had ascended, or star had crossed the sky, and he was now on everyone's mind. And of course, it's great. You've probably read it in college. Have you been to college? Don't go to college. Go to college, you know. Whatever. Vladimir Nabokov, Art, Family Chronicle. This is from 1967. This is the hardcover edition. It has this like gold spine. It's quite lovely. It's like 700 pages. Oh, and it's got yellow M papers, and it's got a lot of sentences in it. One of which is, Van was lying in his netted nest under the liriodendrons, reading Antiterinus on Ratner. Oh boy. Very exciting. You know, very exciting prospect to try to understand that one. This is a more recent acquisition, Transparent Things. I think it came out in like 72 or something. But it's smaller. The style underneath the hardcover is the same. Once an author becomes canonized, they get standard editions. This is nothing new. Nice jacket on there, and it's very short, and I know nothing about it. Published in 1980 is this collection of lectures on literature, which I'm very proud to have, very happy to have. Introduction by John Updike, who's a writer that we both loathe and smell. And here is a bunch of lectures on Madame Bovary, Bleak House, Mansfield Park, Ulysses, and In Search of Lost Time. And in search of time lost, In Search of Lost Time. And it's going to be great. I haven't read it that much. I unfortunately got a little bit of water on the back of it, but nothing prohibitive. And then we have this book, which is, I think came out like early 80s, like 82 or 83. It's his lectures on Don Quixote, a posthumous release. And this is a really lush, giant hardcover. I'm a big fan of... I read, so I'm a big fan of Don Quixote. Why am I being so annoying in this video? I don't understand. I think it's just because I'm trying to do this all in one go, and I'm kind of reaching my breaking point. But these are sentences about Don Quixote, and it's a really nice copy, and it's just golden all around. Wow, that's a precarious stack. That is going to topple. Published in like the mid-90s is the collected stories of Vladimir Nabokov. Of course, essential, and because there are a lot of other story collections like the Details of a Sunset and so on, and this really puts them all together in one place. The original of Laura, the much maligned original of Laura, and its original hardcover. We've got those perforated index cards, then we've got the transcripts down there. I've copied stuff out of this for lines and poems before. And, oh my gosh, where can I put these things? Next, published in about 2012, was that thing that you saw in the used bookstores, The Tragedy of Mr. Mourn. It was like heavily remaindered. And they packaged it up in this penguin, like this British penguin thing, this British penguin hardcover edition, with Lolita, a screenplay. That was published in like, that was, written around like 1960, just for the Kubrick movie, which is on the Criterion Collection. So right now, as of today, March 7th, 2021. And so you can watch that there. This series of editions was in the used bookstore where I went to college, and somebody got their copy of Pale Fire from it, and then it got left in a classroom, and the teacher was like, "Who's got this really handsome edition?" So it really makes an impact on the professors who've been reading and marking up uglier paperbacks their whole lives. It's a nice thing, and I haven't read the plays. I'm sorry. Last but not least, we have this Yale University 2016 edition of some of Vladimir Nabokov's scientific art, and I think some of his writings. It's got like a lot of introductory materials, but then it's got all these beautiful drawings of the wings of butterflies, classification notes, and so on. This is, I guess this means that I'm a fan. It's just in the house, and it's part of the collection, so it's in this video. What is this here? This is a wing sector comparative, so we're looking at just sections of wings and comparing them. The larger figures at right depict two Old World species, which Nabokov was most likely using as an Old World comparison to his New World, something complex. So. This is a good book for if you like Nabokov and you like butterflies, and a good gift, a good coffee table book. It's about the same size as that giant lectures on Quixote thing. So this has been a 15-minute video. I hope you found it enjoyable. Thank you.